can. Good evening, everyone. It's Monday, March 16th. This is a meeting of our Common Council of the City of West Bend. More than 24 hours in advance of tonight's meeting, notice of the time, place, date, and subject matter of the meeting was posted in accordance to Wisconsin state statutes. Clerk, can you confirm this meeting was properly posted?
Yes, it was.
Thank you. I invite you to join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Oh, I got my knee again. They put a new box underneath there. I didn't see it. I just got my knee on the corner of it.
All right, we recognize the quorum of our council here with us tonight. Alderwoman Sizer is unable to attend tonight's meeting, but Alderman Engelking is on the line and Alderman Sparts is on the line. We're going to start with our approval of our regular meeting council minutes from March 2nd, 2026. I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Thank you, Alderman Schmidt and Alderman Butchlick. Any comments, questions, corrections? Seeing none, all in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries. Chief Forrester, we're going to start with, and Chief Noren. We're going to start with oaths of office tonight for 4 firefighter paramedics, firefighter EMTs. Take it away.
Good evening, Mayor, City Administrator, and the council members. Before I introduce the 4 individuals who will be taking their oath of office this evening, I would like to briefly outline the hiring process for firefighters with the West Bend Fire Department. Becoming a firefighter with our fire department involves several steps. It is not simply a matter of submitting an application and you would get hired. Candidates must first meet minimum qualifications, including Firefighter 1 certification and licensure as an EMT basic. Those who apply bring a wide range of experience and education. As you will see with the 4 candidates being sworn in tonight, some come with military backgrounds, previous fire service experience, paramedic certifications, or formal fire science education as an associate degree in fire training and other fire training obtained through military service. Once applications are accepted, candidates must complete a written examination. They are also required to successfully pass a physical ability test, which is called a CPAT test, which evaluates their ability to perform fire-specific tasks within a set time frame while wearing a weighted vest to simulate the gear that firefighters wear during structural operations. Candidates are then ranked based on their performance and qualifications. From there, select individuals move forward in the process and undergo an extensive background investigation prior to being considered for interviews. The Police and Fire Commission ultimately conducts the interviews and determines which candidates will be placed on the eligibility list for hire. Even reaching the interview stage does not guarantee a placement on the eligibility list. Candidates must demonstrate that not only the skills and qualifications required for the job, but also that they are the right fit for our organization. Much like our police department, wearing the West Bend Fire Department uniform and representing the city of West Bend is a privilege that must be earned. I'll now introduce the 4 candidates who are taking their oath of office. Luke Amann, if you want to come forward, Luke. Luke comes to us from the town of Brookfield, where he has worked the last 14 years as a paramedic and an HEO. HEO is their title for a driver. Luke has been a paramedic for over 20 years, so he brings a wide array of experience to West Bend in both fire and EMS. Luke serves as a mentor to younger medics on his current fire department, and I'm confident he will continue to be a mentor to firefighters and medics for years to come in West Bend. Accompanying Luke today are his fiancee Tia and 4 children, Tyla, George, Tolly, and Chase, and also his father, Gus. Next is Joseph Duwell. Joseph comes to us from Sheboygan, Wisconsin. Joseph is our youngest hire. Joseph is currently in his last semester at Fox Valley Technical College, where he will receive his associate degree in fire science. Joseph is an EMT basic and a hazardous materials technician. Joseph was a member of the National Honor Society and a scholar athlete while maintaining high honor roll status throughout high school. Joseph is joined with us today by his father, Alan, mother, Tina, and brother, Ben. Next is Nicholas Reichelt. Nick's father and mother couldn't be here today, so he is running solo. Nick is a West Bend native and most recently worked as an ER technician at Freighter West Bend and is also a volunteer for the Allenton Fire Department. Nick is familiar with many of the West Bend firefighters and completed his paramedic ride time with West Bend. Nick is a veteran of the United States Army, where he was a combat engineer, excuse me. Nick served 2 tours of duty in Iraq. And last is Andrew Wolff. Andrew is also a native of West Bend area, and Andrew is currently in EMT paramedic school with 3 of our members who will graduate this spring. Andrew is currently completing his capstone project, which is the last requirement to complete his paramedic schooling before he takes the National Registry test. Andrew also served in the United States Air Force, where he was a firefighter and served 1 tour overseas in Kuwait. Andrew is accompanied by his wife Hannah, daughter Abby, his mother Andrea, and several siblings. So these are our 4 candidates who are going to take their oath of office tonight. If you guys...
Clerk, as you come up to administer the oath, if anybody in the audience, family members, want to stand up and get closer to take a picture, please feel free to do that. Come right up here in front, get wherever you need to be to get your pictures taken.
This is the hardest part, too. Okay, all ready? If you raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Nicholas Reichelt,
Having been appointed as firefighter
as a firefighter
in the city of West Bend,
in the city of West Bend,
Washington County,
Washington County,
swear that I will support
swear that I will support
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the state of Wisconsin,
and the Constitution of the state of Wisconsin,
and will faithfully discharge
and will faithfully discharge
the duties of said office
the duties of said office
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability.
so help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations and welcome. And I'll have all you guys sign one of these too, okay? Thank you.
Welcome aboard. Welcome aboard. Welcome aboard.
Thank you.
Welcome aboard. Thank you. Thank you.
I can say these gentlemen have another week's worth of training left, and then they will be starting on shift next week. And we're excited to bring them aboard, and we should be at full staff. So, thank you.
Congratulations to all 4 of you, and we look forward to seeing you around the community, hopefully not in a fire truck in front of any of our homes. But thank you for your service, and congratulations and welcome. who's doing the Police Department Citizen Appreciation Awards? Chief Deering.
Thank you, everyone. It's great to see everyone survive the last blast of winter. Hopefully, we're meeting tonight, so thanks for that effort. And thank you for giving us the time to really shed a light on what is one of the greatest things about being a police officer in the city of West Bend, and that is the support. Hey, I'm glad everyone made it through the snowstorm. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. You know how shy I am. I'm glad we're all here. What I was saying is thank you for letting us take the time to really celebrate what is one of the greatest aspects of being a police officer in West Bend, and that is the support of our community. Many times in front of you, you've heard me talk about Sir Robert Peel and his philosophy that the police are the people and the people are the police. We've had a mantra for at least the last 5 years of see something, say something, get involved, help your neighbors, and our community has responded. Has always responded, but has responded to that and is absolutely part of the team. Part of the team that keeps West Bend a safe and enjoyable community to live in. So with that, I'm going to turn the mic over to Captain Rollinger, and we're going to celebrate some very specific citizens tonight, but I want you to know this is just tip of the iceberg of our citizens' involvement in keeping our community safe. So, yeah,
Good evening, everyone. Strong communities rely on engaged citizens who care enough to step forward when something is not right. Every day, people call the police dispatcher because something went wrong, or they see someone who needs help. Like the citizens we honor here tonight, they chose to act. And tonight, we thank them for it. So, with that, Patrick Prescott, please step forward. The other person involved in this incident, Tracy Hawkinson, could not be here tonight.
Tracy, you're not here?
On Tuesday, March 4th, 2025, Patrick Prescott was working at Vortex Pickleball when he heard someone yell 911, call 911. Patrick grabbed the AED and observed a man lying on the ground on one of the pickleball courts. Patrick observed the man was not breathing. Patrick subsequently applied the AED and administered a shock to the man. The AED then advised to start CPR, and that is when Vortex Pickleball member Tracy Hawkinson began CPR on the man. Patrick eventually took over CPR and the man woke up. Patrick placed the man on his side until West Bend Fire Department arrived and continued care. The man survived the incident and was transported to the hospital. The quick and decisive action of both Patrick and Tracy, the utilization of the AED and performing CPR saved the man's life. Nicole Davis, I don't think I saw her. She was on the list to come, but I'll read Nicole's story. On Monday, March 24th, 2025 at 11:18 p.m., Nicole Davis had stopped at the flashing red lights at the intersection of West Paradise Drive and Highway 45 when she observed a man passed out behind the wheel of a black SUV also at that intersection. Nicole obtained the vehicle's description, a license plate number, and called the West Bend Police Dispatch. Police arrived and investigated and determined the driver was impaired and in possession of 7 grams of fentanyl, 2 grams of crack cocaine, and several items of drug paraphernalia. The driver was arrested for operating while impaired, as well as other drug offenses. Nicole's situational awareness and actions led to the removal of an impaired driver from our roadways and prevented significant amounts of harmful illegal substances from being introduced into our community. Well done, Nicole. Wade Wagenknecht. Told him I was going to likely butcher that. Very German, for as German as we are here in this community. Even German for me at 6 years of high school German. On Sunday, June 8th, 2025 at 4:09 p.m., Wade observed 2 juveniles that he did not recognize hanging out in the area of a neighboring apartment complex. Wade observed one of the juveniles approach a vehicle in the lot and tried prying the driver door open, while the second juvenile remained on the sidewalk as if to be acting as a lookout. Wade yelled at the juveniles, who fled. Wade called the West Bend Police Dispatch Center, provided a very detailed description of the juveniles. Responding officers located the juveniles a few blocks away. Other officers checked the area parking lots and located two additional vehicles with damage to their doors. The juveniles admitted to attempting to break into cars to steal money. Both were taken into custody for criminal damage to property, and as the investigation continued, it was determined that one of the juveniles was reported as a missing juvenile from Milwaukee County. Charges were referred on both suspects, and they were later released to parents. Thank you, Wade, for getting involved and calling the police. Did Pamela Parcham sneak in? Pamela? No. Must be shoveling. On Sunday, August 31st, 2025, at around 9:30 a.m., Pamela observed a distraught female outside of her residence sitting on the curb crying. Pamela was unfamiliar with the girl, but approached her and offered help. Pamela learned the girl had recently been the victim of a sexual assault by a relative. Pamela immediately called 911 to report the incident and offered the girl a safe place, her residence, for the girl to wait. But the girl decided to leave with a friend who had just arrived on scene. Pamela gathered information about where the girl was going and related to the police dispatcher. The relative was ultimately arrested for sexual assault. Pamela's quick thinking and willingness to help a stranger allowed the girl to get the help she needed and report the matter to the police. Thank you, Pamela. Now, I know these two aren't here, but Paul Bruss and Julie Bruss, just checking. All right. On Saturday, November 29th, 2025, Thanksgiving weekend, Waterloo, Iowa residents Paul and Julie Bruss were visiting family when they were out on a walk together in the neighborhood. While walking past a home, they were alerted by a barking dog in the driveway near the detached garage. Paul observed a man lying on his back next to the garage door. Both Paul and Julie approached the man and learned he was not breathing. He was actually shoveling snow and collapsed. They opened the door to the residence and alerted the man's wife. They also called 911, started CPR on the man with the instructions received from the dispatcher until officers and paramedics arrived. Together, Paul and Julie Bruss played a significant role in the man's survival and for being alive today. They should be commended for their willingness to get involved. Jeremiah Jones and Catherine Eckstein. Come on up. On Monday, December 1st, 2025, at around 9:12 a.m., a female called West Bend Police, that's Catherine there, Mom, to report her 8-year-old son was at his grandfather's residence and that Grandpa had fallen out of his wheelchair and was possibly having a seizure. The West Bend Fire Department and West Bend Police Department responded. Paramedics arrived and began treating the man while officers spoke with 8-year-old Jeremiah. Jeremiah said he did not exactly know what was going on with Grandpa, but he knew he needed to call for help and called his mom. Jeremiah watched for officers and the paramedics to arrive and then directed them to his grandpa. Jeremiah's observations, quick action, and notifying his mother got medical attention quickly to his grandfather. Nice work, Jeremiah. Patrice Pruitt, she snuck in. On Monday, December 12th, 2025, around 10:48 a.m., Patrice responded to the police department and turned over an envelope with over $1,000 in cash in it. Patrice reported that the money had been turned over by the mail delivery person, believing it belonged to someone who lived in Patrice's apartment complex. Patrice attempted on her own to locate the owner, but was unsuccessful. Patrice then turned over the money to the police department. Earlier in that day, a citizen had stopped by and asked if anybody had turned in a sum of cash. So, due to Patrice's honesty and willingness to come forward and do the right thing, the money was returned to the rightful owner, and who was more than thankful at that time of year, December 12th. The following citizens reported intoxicated drivers. Is Catherine Lefko here? Don't think she showed up. Vincent Ferreira, Scott Reedy and Tyler Reedy. Step forward, guys. Peyton McElia, Noah Canny, and Sarah Gramanza. I don't think she's here either. All of these citizens observed impaired drivers threatening the safety of our roads in West Bend and took action by contacting the police department, embracing the concept of see something, say something. This information allowed police to locate and stop these vehicles and remove intoxicated or drug-impaired drivers from our roads. These citizens' actions and willingness to get involved removed impaired drivers from the roadways and helped to prevent vehicle crashes, serious injuries, and even deaths. So thank you very much. That's it.
We're going to go right into police cadet recognition tonight. Chief.
Thank you. Cadets and advisors, mentors, please step forward in front of the DS. Is this thing on? Just kidding. Thank you. What a wonderful showing for our citizens. And again, just want to reiterate, that is the tip of the iceberg. Every single day, our citizens play an active role in our safety. Call in, help us to do our job to protect and serve our community. As we honor our citizens, we would like to take a special moment tonight to also honor a special group of our team that's made up of volunteer citizens that help us serve. We're gonna see both sides of the spectrum tonight. This is our first group, our cadet group. They don't bite, Detective. You can move in. Thanks. You're going to get the picture. This is our cadet group. Our cadets used to be known as the Explorers. They make up young adults of 14 to 20 years old who show an interest in the career of law enforcement. We, in exchange for their volunteer hours, which last year they served 166.5 hours of community service and conducted about 500 hours of meetings, expositions, and ride-along trainings. In exchange for that system, we get a monthly meeting and training to make sure that they're seeing the realities of law enforcement, making sure that they're seeing that exposure from a real side, getting mentored by our police officers, our group, to see if law enforcement is truly where they want to see their paths lead. So we're very happy with that. So as I say your names, step forward, please. I think Jameson Averill, I don't think he could join us tonight. Donovan Baton, Odin Berglund, Emmanuel Fisher, Kylie Gutcher, Alexander Hill, Lindsay Hill, Alicia Kreiser, Savannah Magnuson, and Chase Louders. And then our mentors, our lead mentor, Detective Stacy Bruss. Go ahead, stand up, Stacy. School police officer, Brianne Knutson. Our police officers, Mohanan, Kel, I'm going to mess this up, Dozal. Thank you, all right. Officer Shannon, Officer Scalone, Officer Gates, Dispatcher Miller, and State Trooper Darren joins us as well to round out our mentorship group. So a round of applause for all of them and your services. All right, thank you very much. And now our Crime Prevention Patrol, please step forward. And Crime Prevention Patrol advisors, please.
He's an official business.
You're not.
Yeah, nice
You're
try.
not getting out of this photo.
Yeah, nice try. So, not to put too fine a point on it, but on the other side of the spectrum then is our more seasoned adults that want to serve. So anyone over the age of 18 is welcome to join our Crime Prevention Patrol. And in that true belief of the people are the police are the people, we have our wonderful crime prevention patrol members out there daily, nearly daily, really, honestly. 864 hours of volunteer service in our last year. You've recognized them, the community members recognize them if you've attended any parade in West Bend, along with our cadets as well, I should have mentioned. If you enjoy music on Main, you've certainly met our members of the Crime Prevention Patrol out in our community, making sure that they live our mission as part of our team of protect and serve. Being eyes and ears for the police department, answering questions for our citizens, making sure that the quality of life as well as the safety of our community is paramount and a great asset to both the police department and the community. So I mentioned your name, step forward. Quite a bit of our group is out helping the community right now dig out of snow. Not able to join us tonight, but if I mention your name, step forward and we'll recognize all our members. John Fitzgerald. John, it pays to let you know, served 124 volunteer hours last year alone. Excellent work, John. Led the group. Gordy Cleaver, not able to join us tonight. Steve Rinke, Brian Metz, Tom Eilenfeld. Tom, how long have you been a member of the Crime Prevention Patrol? He just said modestly about 43 years. 43 years, it's amazing. Thank you, Tom. Elizabeth Black, James Yurkovic, James Reinke. I promised I wouldn't make fun of Jim for not wearing his uniform tonight, but as you know, Jim also serves a role in community development. We'll be presenting later and apparently didn't want to wear his uniform. Mike Wellner, just kidding, Jimmy. Dean Kelly, Ruth Ann Ewert, Janet Ehlers, Alex Aaron, Adam Schrader, Milos Lazarevich. There's a character we haven't seen much of, but he is a character. Chandler Fisher and Jeff Clark. And our mentors, unfortunately not able to join us tonight, our lead mentor, Detective Brandon Kneprath, really takes the group to heart. Assisted with Lieutenant Brian McAndrews and Officers McGuire and Medved. Coco, as he's known officially around the department. So how about a round of applause for them? Thank you very much. And again, to the community and electeds, thank you very much for giving us the time. I know we've got a busy agenda, but it's important to recognize the merits of our citizens.
It is absolutely important, and thank you all very, very much for what you do to serve our community, and congratulations to our Citizen Award winners for their recognition tonight, and congratulations to our 4 new firefighter paramedics who were just sworn in tonight. Unfortunately, when you show up to a public meeting, you have to stay until the end. I'm just kidding. Now is going to be a good time if you'd like to leave the meeting. We're going to recess just for a few minutes while people clear out, and then we'll carry on with our meeting tonight.
It's an official recess. And there they go. Yeah. I forgot that Forrester is assistant chief now. I'm so used to seeing Chuck, and Chuck's gone. I'm like, I didn't realize that until we came in today. I'm like, oh my God, I think this is the first time that we've done anything fire related that Chuck's not. It's weird.
I'm going to call to order a meeting of the Licensing Board of the City of West Bend. Our first item of business is our Licensing Board minutes from March 2nd, 2026.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Thank you, Alderman Butchlick and Alderman Zingsheim. Any comments, questions, corrections? All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 extension of premise applications for the West Bend Theater, the Boardroom, the Garden Lounge, Skinny Vic's, Game Over, and the Antidote. Clerk, again, extension of premise is the permit to allow these places to sell product, if you will, out on the pavement in front of their locations. Everything in order with applications, no concerns?
No concerns at this time, thank you.
Is it okay if we take all these at once?
Yes, it is.
All right. I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Thank you. There's a motion and a second to approve the 6 extensions of premise. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. The licensing board is adjourned.
I would like to call the order Board of Public Works. We have 2 items on the agenda. The first one is approval of minutes from the regular meeting of March 2nd, 2026.
Motion to approve. Second.
Alderman Schmidt, and who's second?
I was second.
Alderman Singstein. Are there any corrections? There are none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Item number 2, additional sidewalk orders for contracts 2601 and 2602. Good evening, Max.
Good evening, thank you. About a month ago, we came to you with recommendations for properties along those 2 projects, which are the reconstruction of Kilbourne Avenue and Heather Drive. We had a list of properties that needed sidewalk replacement, and you approved a sidewalk order for those properties. During further inspections along the project areas, both projects, we found 1 property along each project that needed sidewalk replacement as well. So we're coming back for having a new sidewalk order for those 2 properties so we can perform the sidewalk repairs during the reconstruction project. So the 2 properties are at 606 Eastern Avenue, which will be addressed under contract 2601. And the second property is at 217 Heather Drive, which will be addressed under contract 2602.
Do you have a motion?
Motion to approve. Second.
Is there any questions for Max? There are none. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you very much, Max. No further business before the Board of Public Works. I adjourn.
I call to order a meeting of the Finance Committee. We have a number of agenda items this evening. The first is the approval of our regular meeting minutes for March 2nd.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Thank you, Alderman Bergquist and Alderman Schmidt, I believe. Any questions, comments, additions, corrections, deletions? There being none, all those in favor signal by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion carries. Next, we have a presentation, a pre-sale report for $10,850,000 in general obligation promissory notes, Series 2026. We have Phil Cosson joining us online from our public finance advisors, Ehlers.
Thank you. Good evening. Appreciate the opportunity to attend virtually this evening. I'm going to walk you through a pre-sale report that we have provided to you previously. I also have it up on my screen. I think hopefully it's where you can see it as well. And then there is also a corresponding resolution that was prepared by the city's bond attorney, Quarles and Brady, that would be acted upon if you are comfortable with moving forward with the 2026 general obligation note Series 2026A. So historically, the city has gone out and borrowed money for capital projects, and that range has varied a little bit, but it's usually between $3.5 and $4 million for the normal capital items that the city has. So if you think streets, parks, sidewalks, any public improvements of equipment purchases, those types of projects. This time around, you'll see that we are quite a bit higher than that. We are at $10,850,000 that is being requested to be financed this time around. In your packet, there is a summary table on table 3, which I am showing you right now, that lays out all of the capital items to be financed as part of this issue. The 3 areas that are increasing the normal amount from $4 million to almost to a little over $10 million are projects related to tax increment district number 17, which is some design work for 18th Avenue, and then tax increment district number 14 for stormwater construction at the regional pond, along with some additional design work for roads in phase number 3. The portion that is of this issue that is TID related, are you not hearing it well?
No, we're good.
No, we're good.
Can everybody hear me? Okay, I got a note saying they couldn't hear. But the issue that, so roughly 2 million of this issue is related to TIDS 14 and 17. The other item that is new this year, obviously, and increasing this amount to be borrowed is the $4.7 million fire station #1 new building. So if you add up the fire station project, the tax increment district projects, we end up about 6.8 million, with the remaining amount being the normal capital that the city would see and undertake. So we're kind of within that range that we typically always are, without having both TID 17, 14, and the fire station project. So back to the pre-sale report, what we are looking to do again is to finance each of the improvements to match up the asset life with the actual item being acquired and or constructed. So for all of the projects that are your normal customary capital projects, including streets and equipment and parks, building improvements, those kind of things, we are going to be levying for 10 years. That's historically what this city has done, is borrowed money over a 10-year period for those normal projects. We are going to borrow money for 20 years for fire station #1, because we fully expect that will be an asset of the city for an extended time period, well beyond 20 years. It just happens to be that in Wisconsin, the maximum term we can finance under general obligation debt is 20 years. And then TIDS 14 and 17, we are tying back the length of that schedule, the amortization schedule, to the life of the tax increment district. So in TID 14's case, it's 15 years. In TID 17's case, it is 20 years. This is all one debt issue. And it's all being, and I'll show you in a little bit in one of the exhibits, with 4 different amortization schedules broken out in the one debt issue. So this will be a general obligation issue with some offsetting revenues. So we'll be offsetting some of the ad valorem property tax with revenues from TID 14 and revenues from TID number 17. This will be non-bank qualified. We're over $10 million of borrowing, just meaning that there are some banks that will not get special kind of tax treatment if they acquire these bonds. We will be going out to a rating. So the city is rated by Standard & Poor's. You have a AA rating. We'll be going through the rating process. And we have yet to schedule that, but we're looking at early April for the actual rating call to take place, which will be in time for the financing to actually occur. As always, when we've worked with the city, we will be doing a competitive sale, meaning we will take bids from qualified underwriters and banks. So the theory behind it is that they are a qualified bidder. We want to entice as many people to bid on behalf of the city. Just like if you were doing a road project, a roof on City Hall, you want to get as many bids as possible as a way to kind of drive down, hopefully, the ultimate interest rate received. The schedule that we have laid out, working collectively with staff, city staff, is to hopefully authorize us to continue with this sale process. April 6th, and we will be having a review of the official statement, which is like a prospectus on the city. Conference with the rating agencies, Standard & Poor's. We'll distribute a final document the week of April 13th. We'll be at your meeting, Common Council Award on April 20th at your regular meeting. And then if everything runs as planned, we will have a closing scheduled for May 13th. That's when all the funds are wired to the city, and you have funds available to pay for all the projects that were listed out. I wasn't going to spend a lot of time walking through all the different analysis that we undertake, but we did take the time to put this together and then also run through this with city staff to make sure that the assumptions used in this financing plan they were comfortable with. And so one thing we do look at is the growth that has that's occurred in the city. And then we project forward where we think growth will continue. We take a very conservative look. We've looked at the last 5 years and we've cut that in half, figuring that growth is going to slow at some point. Not just new construction, but just the property appreciating in value. So we're looking at about 4.5% growth going forward. We have also included the potential closure of multiple tax increment districts in the city. We've been working again collectively with city staff on those potential closures, which will be coming forward to you. We do put together a finance plan. Again, here are the capital projects to be financed. The ultimate sizing identified at $10,850,000. And then, as I indicated, we have a breakout by purpose. So 20 years for the fire station. That's this first boxed in area. 10 years for the portion of the debt that is your normal, typical capital expenditures that you do annually, streets, again, equipment, those kind of things. TID 14 portion and TID 17 portion of the issue. And on the far right-hand side box, you'll see the actual total issue that will be issued on behalf of the city. One of the things that we always look at is what is the potential impact to the average homeowner. And we do spend a lot of time in this model working with staff to make sure that everybody's comfortable with what we are presenting. So if you look at where you were in 2026, you're at $1.03 per thousand for debt service. So that's your debt service levy, not operating levy, et cetera, but just your debt service levy. Our projections, as they stand right now, with conservative interest rates and pretty conservative growth factors, is it'll go up about 3 cents per thousand in 27, but another 2 cents per thousand in 28 before it starts to drop back off. And it drops off significantly as you pay off your debt. We do think the increase that is shown, that $6 and 27, will be offset potentially by some of the costs of issuance coming in less. We'll deal with that on sale day. But this, I don't want to say is worst case, because we just don't exactly know where the market's going to go. But we feel comfortable. We have enough room built into here that if rates increase beyond what we've seen in the last week, then we have room and we'll be able to hit these targets. The final chart that we spent quite a bit of time going through with city staff again is to make sure that you are well positioned going forward to make sure that you have enough borrowing capacity to take on future capital projects. So every community, doesn't matter the size of the community in the state of Wisconsin, can borrow 5% of your total value. That's what's called your borrowing capacity or your debt limit. So your debt limit in 2026 is about $261,808,000. You have $62 million of principal outstanding, which is 24% use of that allowed 5% capacity. And you can see it, even with this $10 million issue, you're at about 28%, meaning you have 72% of your borrowing capacity remaining. So you are positioned very well to be able to take on future capital. And as we look at it, it's really how does it affect your rating? This level of debt will not affect the rating that you have from S&P. In fact, you would be as a comparable on the lower end from what they would typically see. So you have a significant drop off over the next couple of years, but again, you'll likely be back in the market later on. This is what's going on in the last 3 years in the bond market. Everybody's aware we're at historic lows back a couple of years ago. This looks like a pretty dramatic increase. It really isn't when you look at it over the last 3 years. We had a a 20-year issue sell today for a comparable rated community, and they came in around 3.75% for 20 years. So we would expect the city, unless we see a significant change in the market, to be roughly in that same realm. If we see a deterioration in the bond market, and we've always hung our hat on this, we will delay the sale. And we will pull it to make sure that we're not selling in a market that is challenging. So we'll be working and staying in touch with city staff to make sure that when we're issuing this amount of debt, we're doing it in a market that makes sense for the city. So if there's a significant change, we will make sure that we communicate that with staff, and if need be, we will delay the sale and let the market kind of settle back down. So that is a lot of information in a relatively short time, but you certainly can absorb this amount of obligation under your current borrowing capacity. The impact to the taxpayer isn't that significant. One thing I wanted to mention that I forgot, and I was requested to put in here, is how much of the tax rate for debt service, and I know it's a little hard to read, I'll blow this up a little bit, is really related to the fire station. So what we've done in this chart is we have the overall, which includes existing debt, this new debt issue, and then broke out the fire station portion of it to get a better feel for what the impact of the fire station project is. On an average homeowner, it's around $20 to $25 annually per thousand, so or on an average homeowner. So over that 20-year period, about $387. And that's shown at the bottom of this chart. So with that, I'd be happy to answer any questions you have regarding the issue, the timing, process, anything else you have in mind regarding the rating or anything else.
Great. Thank you very much, Phil. As always, appreciate the level of detail you are able to go into, but at the same time bring it up to a level that makes it something that we can digest and understand. From the council, any questions for Phil? You can't see it, but I'm seeing a lot of nodding heads that we're all satisfied with your report. So, Phil, again, thank you very much. And we will be taking action on this as the next agenda item. Item number 2, resolution number 62, providing for the sale of approximately $10,850,000 general obligation promissory notes, Series 2026.
Motion to approve.
Second. Thank you, Alderman Buchlick and Alderman Zingsheim. Any questions or comments? There being none, all those in favor signal by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? That motion carries. Thank you again,
Great.
Phil.
Thank you very
Appreciate you
much.
joining us this evening.
Yeah, appreciate the opportunity to do this tonight virtually. I'll see you in a month.
That sounds good. Thank you, Phil.
Thank you.
Our next agenda item number 3, award quote 2601, real estate services for Main Street, Progress to Humar. Welcome, Max.
Thank you. So this item is for the project of reconstructing Main Street between Progress Drive and Humar Street. In 2023, the City of West Bend entered into a state municipal agreement with the DOT for this reconstruction. We received federal funding through a DOT program for this reconstruction, and we are at the point where we need to acquire land rights in order to complete the project. And so staff prepared requests for proposals to solicit consultants to do the appraisal and negotiation in the land acquisition for the project. And we received 2 proposals which are listed in the memo. We reviewed the proposals and qualifications of the candidates and found them both capable of completing the work. And so based on our review, we recommend the award of the contract for the real estate services for Main Street reconstruction to Southern Wisconsin Appraisal in the amount of $51,100 as listed in their proposal.
Thank you, Max. I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Thank you, Alderman Zingsheim and Alderman Buchlik. Any questions for Max on this topic? There being none, all those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion carries. Thank you, Max.
Thank you.
Next item is resolution number 63, accepting and appropriating funds from the Wisconsin Telephonic Cardiopulmonary Resuscitation T-CPR, which is much easier to say, grant. Welcome, Chief.
I'm glad you handled it for me. What a great night to bring this grant in front of you. We heard tonight several times during the Citizens Award and the life-saving portions that the dispatchers led those citizens through the CPR process. Very clearly a huge role in life-saving in West Bend. So we've identified that. It's called emergency medical dispatching. It's actually a formalized certification. All 12 of our dispatchers, including our dispatch supervisor, are certified, and that's an annual certification. Costs us just north of $3,000 a year to do it. Captain Grinwald applied for a state grant through the TCPR program, and we were awarded the full $3,182.39 that will pay for our annual certification. So I'm asking tonight, that was awarded to us on February 25th, and placed into our revenue account. Tonight I'm asking you to transfer that into our contractual services account to pay for our PowerPhone program, training program, and I will note that the resolution is written in such a manner that we anticipate this to be an annual occurring grant that'll from now on be auto appropriated to the appropriate accounts. If something changes, I'll certainly come back and
Motion to approve.
Second. Thank you, Alderman Bergquist and Alderman Schmidt. Any questions or comments for Chief? Seems straightforward. Thank you very much. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Aye.
That motion carries. Our last agenda item this evening is the 2026 fee schedule amendments for the Department of Community Development and Building Inspection. Welcome, gentlemen.
Good evening. We have two items for you this evening. I'll take the first half. Todd will take the second part of it. So we have most of our applications in the community development we have fees for. We were just reviewing our land use amendment fees. We've had 11 in 2025 and another 2 already this year. Those are requests by developers typically to amend our land use plan and update our comprehensive plan. So we're having more and more of those. Those application processes have public hearing notices, mailings, all sorts of things. And so we are just recommending, instead of having a 0 fee for that we get it in line with some of our other fees. So we're recommending that you adopt a fee of $800 for that particular line item.
A question for Ian. Should we be taking these as separate items or just one item?
I mean, unless there's changes that are involved, I think you can take them as a whole.
Okay, great. Thank you. I just want to clarify.
Good evening.
Todd, welcome.
Good evening. So for build.
Oh, sorry.
Where do we get the $800 amount from?
We generally look at what our costs are as well as what comparables are. Some of our other communities are a little higher. Last year we came to you with kind of a comparison list. So we're still pretty much in line with everybody else or a little bit lower, and it's based off of our costs. So there are some notices that we may only have to do 3 or 4 residents, but we may have hundreds of notices that we have to do. There's also the publication in the newspaper, all those other types of fees that add up.
Thank you. Good question. Thank you, Bill.
For building inspection, what we're doing is for commercial plan review, we pretty much adopt the state fees. Whatever the state fees are, we use, and in our fee schedule, we stated state fees for that, for commercial plan review for buildings. So now we're gonna list them, all the fees, instead of saying state fees. That's our change.
So really, it's not a change in the fees itself. It's actually more of a publication of the fees that we've always had and that we amend, if I'm understanding correctly, that we just use the state fees, whatever those are, amended to each year.
Yep, instead of having someone go look it up, they can just see it right there.
Wonderful. Thank you. I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Thank you, Alderman Buchlik and Alderman Zingsheim. Any questions for either John or Todd on these items? There being none, all those in favor signal by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? That motion carries. Thank you very much, gentlemen. There being no further business before the Finance Committee, I adjourn as chair.
All right, I will reconvene our common council meeting. We're on to the consent agenda, items 5 through 15. I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Thank you, Zingsheim and Schmidt. Any comments, questions, discussion on the consent agenda? All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? That motion carries. Agenda items for consideration tonight, discussion and approval of a 4-year service agreement with E-Plan Exam to renew plan review contract.
So again, for commercial plan review, any of you that don't know, West Bend is a fully delegated municipality. So we, besides hospitals, CBRFs, health-related facilities, we can do all plan reviews here for any size building that they decide to bring into the city. In order to do that, anything above 50,000 cubic feet, we need to go out and we have E-Plan Exam do this for us. We've had them with us the past 4 years. It's went quite well with them, and so now we're just renewing the contract to go another 4 years with E-Plan.
Thanks, Todd. Any questions? I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Thank you, Zingsheim and Schmidt. Any more discussion, comments? All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries. Thanks, Todd. Thank you. All right, we'll move on to item 17, which is consideration of approval of a developer's agreement for Kingfisher Hollow subdivision located on the south side of Progress Drive and east of South Main Street. Jim.
Good evening. Tonight we're asking for consideration of a developer's agreement for Kingfisher Drive. Again, this is on the south side of Progress Drive. It's actually the extension of Kingfisher Road from the Rolling Hill subdivision. It'll consist of a single-family, two-family, multifamily, and industrial subdivision for this. The agreement itself is pretty much our standard agreement that we have in place for our developer's agreement for the completion of the road improvements and utilities within there, along with some of the restrictions that we have for the outlots and stormwater areas. So we're asking for consideration and completion of that, and developer is already starting to do some of the prep work out there and getting ready to do the installation of the utilities.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Thank you, Sternig and Zingsheim. Any comments, questions, discussion on this?
So the developer is picking up the cost of the improvements?
Correct. They do all the installation at their cost, and then they dedicate it over to the city for us to own and maintain for the rest of the life of the subdivision.
Okay. Any more questions? All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you. Number 18 is ordinance number 27, which is a text amendment to Chapter 1 of Boards and Commissions. John.
Good evening again. This evening, you have before you an ordinance addressing some clarifications within the Planning Commission section of Chapter 1. It addresses a number of members as well as staff to the commission. In the second part of the document, it also addresses the Airport Commission. Currently, the Airport Commission, when you appoint someone to it, it's for 5 years. We are suggesting that gets changed to 3 years to be in line with all of our other boards and commissions. And also with the Redevelopment Authority, that also is a 5-year appointment. Currently, we're recommending that be also modified to a 3-year, just so they're sort of in line. And 5 years is kind of a long commitment for a lot of people when you tell them. So we're hoping 3 years is a little bit more manageable, and people will get a little bit more people interested in participating in city government.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Thank you, Alderman Sternig and Alderman Schmidt. Any comments, questions, discussion? Being none, all in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, John. Our last item is approval of addendum number 1 to the Village of Kewaskum EMS agreement. Jesse?
Certainly, happy to bat lead off on this. What we have before the council this evening is a minor addendum to our existing EMS agreement, service agreement with the Village of Kewaskum. What this amendment looks to do is actually ensure the Village of Kewaskum is eligible for a state innovation grant, which they are in the process of applying for. The state innovation grant program, actually utilizing state surplus dollars, incentivizes communities for their willingness to enter into service sharing agreements. And this, the concept, what we have in place is in fact eligible for this. However, this addendum calls out this specific cost number associated with the service. That is part of that eligibility requirement with the state of Wisconsin. Chief Noren can speak a little bit more specifically to that, but that is that higher level notion behind the agenda item this evening. Is really, it's about not a substantive change to the agreement, to the terms thereof, but for listing out a cost figure in order to ensure eligibility for that state innovation grant program. One interesting aspect of this, with the Village of Kewaskum pursuing this state innovation grant, the term of this service agreement would actually extend out because that is a condition of the state innovation grant program. So that, to me, is a litmus test showing how well this arrangement is working, that Kewaskum is willing to pursue these funds, understanding their commitment to this joint program is to be extended. So with that, either myself or Chief Noren are available to answer questions.
Very good. Why don't I entertain a motion and then we can have some discussion.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Thank you, Sternig and Berquist. Any comments, questions, discussion?
I like the idea of shared services.
Absolutely. And it's working well.
I appreciate the opportunity to speak specifically on that. I think the situation or the agreement we have in Kewaskum has went better than most people could have imagined. Relationships are building every day. Services are being provided without any pause, and we're providing, like I said, 24/7 paramedic level service to that community. We're getting excellent support from their fire department, providing first responder services. Teams are working like a well-oiled machine in the field, and we really couldn't ask for a better agreement at this point in time. So I think this is, as the administrator said, this is a strong sign that this agreement is working. It's demonstrating itself well as a model for what could happen in northern Washington County, and we're happy to be part of it.
In terms of the question I have, the terms or the length of the contract, we would have them extend from what to what as a part of this, should they get that grant?
To be clear, the original contract was a 6-year contract. However, it had a out after, I think years 5 and 6, if there was not grant funding achieved with the, because as the administrator said, as the innovation grant required a 6-year agreement, that's kind of how it was worded that way. But our original agreement did provide an early out in case it, was not going as planned. Fortunately, that was not the case. And with the achievement of the innovation grant, then that would lock it in as a 6-year agreement and eliminate the early out period. So that's a real positive thing for all of us, so we can plan accordingly. I think long-term agreements for these types of agreements are very important because I think stability and continuity and emergency response is something we all value.
Great. Thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
John.
Yeah, I'd just like to pass on. I had a resident of Kewaskum mention to me that there was a call and your West Bend almost beat the Kewaskum squad there to it, so they were just ecstatic, and they said they're really happy that this thing is in full bloom. So congratulations on your team for being very successful on this program.
Thank you. Always proud of my folks out there. They're doing really great work in the field, and those types of situations of feedback are not uncommon, which makes me, of course, very happy as a fire chief.
All right. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries. Thanks, Chief. Thanks, Jesse. We'll move on to our reports tonight. Our bid board met on March 3rd, and the bid facade grant committee also met on March 3rd. Rhett, do you want to take that?
Can you hear me?
Can, yep.
Okay, great. The primary thing that happened at the facade grant committee was we just extended the existing facade grant for Goyman for an additional 6 months from March 11th. That was the primary objective there. Sorry, I'm trying to pull up my notes here. Great. Additionally, at the bid board, we had some. We initiated sort of our new practice of allowing businesses from the community to make presentations, and we actually didn't have one presentation, but we did have a presentation from a member of the facade committee. Other than that, we had some conversation about flowers for the fall, and we got an update of the previous facade grant committee update, which was, of course, extending the Hussar grant. We looked at the quarterly report from the downtown master plan and got updates from the Downtown West Bend Association, the Bend, and we reviewed the financial reports. Other than that, it was a pretty standard meeting. So,
great. Thank you. Plan Commission from March 3rd. John, you want to take that one?
I can take care of that. Sure will. We approved minutes from February 3rd. We held a public hearing for a conditional use permit for a home business at 549 Woodside Court. The commission then approved the permit after the hearing. We held a public hearing for a conditional use permit to allow microblading, permanent makeup, and a tattoo establishment within the B2 Central Business District at 117 South Main Street. After the hearing, the permit was approved by the commission. A site plan was presented to the commission by the Kohler Credit Union located at the southeast corner of North 18th Avenue and West Washington Street. That's the old Fleet and Farm property. The plans were approved after a short presentation, and the Kohler Credit Union had the wishes for success from the Plan Commission. At the end of the meeting, we received a quarterly report on the Downtown Master Plan, which is the same report the council received, and then our meeting was adjourned.
Thank you very much. Administrator's report, Jesse.
I'd like to take a minute this evening to call out a couple of pretty amazing team efforts on behalf of city staff. An email just came through just prior to this evening's meeting on behalf of our Public Works Department. As of 6 p.m. this evening, all streets have been plowed. They were doing a second plowing of the alleyways, and the cul-de-sac have been plowed as well. They are looking at initiating a 4:30 a.m. Plowing shift tomorrow morning. This will be to address any overnight drifting. So in response to this pretty significant snow event, Public Works has been on their A game and doing a solid job. Also need to give kudos to everyone involved with Friday's windstorm, we'll call it. Our sanitary sewer plant actually was without power for some time. The main line faulted to the point where it didn't allow the second high voltage line to kick in. Therefore, we diverted over to our tertiary backup being a generator. Unfortunately, despite all of our maintenance efforts, as we do conduct ongoing regular maintenance of this generator, unfortunately, that piece of mechanical equipment failed as well. So then we went to a pump system, and we were able to maintain a level of operation, if you will, at the sanitary sewer plant to avoid any property damage to the utmost extent of staff's effort there. We Energies was able to respond in time, bring everything back online, and we are back up and running. But it really took a massive effort by our utility staff that I think is very important that we recognize here on behalf of the community. Their quick work and making the tough calls in a time of stress kept a lot of bad stuff out of people's basements. So I really, truly appreciate their efforts in that time of need for the community. So all hands on deck over the course of the last few days here for varying reasons, and it's truly appreciated on behalf of the community. So utility and public works staff, thank you very much.
Any alderman reports tonight? No? No? All right. I don't really have anything to report either, except I'll just quickly go through our future agenda. We've got a library board meeting at 5:15 tomorrow night. We have a Chamber of Commerce hosted candidate forum right here in council chambers at 5:30 on Wednesday night. We have posted that as a possible quorum, so if anybody would like to come to that, feel free. It's always a fun event, 5:30 on Wednesday. On Friday at 5 o'clock at station number 1, they're having a pinning promotion ceremony. And if you haven't been to one of those, it's a pretty neat thing to go to. It's at station number 1 at 5 o'clock, and you can dress casual. It's not a dress-up event or anything like that. Ceremony usually takes 30 or 45 minutes, and it's really something neat to attend. So that's this Friday. Parks and Rec, March 26th. At 6 o'clock. Again, we canceled our meeting of the Common Council on March 30th. So our next Common Council meeting is on April 20th with other committees and things before that. So that's all I have. We have 2 items that may be appropriate for closed session tonight. The first is under State Statute 19.851G, which is conferring with legal counsel for the governmental body who is rendering oral or written advice concerning strategy to be adopted by the body with respect to litigation in which it is or is likely to become involved. Topic would be regarding the benevolent corporation tax assessment cases and general updates on other tax assessment claims. I will entertain a motion.
So moved. Second.
Thank you, Alderman Sternig and Alderman Zingsheim. I will call the roll. Alderman Butchlick.
Aye.
Alderman Engelking.
Aye.
Alderman Berquist.
Aye.
Alderman Sternig.
Aye.
Alderman Sparts.
Aye.
Alderman Schmidt.
Aye.
Alderman Zingsheim.
Aye.
That motion carries. We have another item that may be appropriate for closed session as well tonight under State Statute 19.851E, which is deliberating or negotiating the purchase of public properties, the investing of public funds, or conducting other specified public business whenever competitive or bargaining reasons require a closed session. The topic will be to discuss possible terms for a development agreement in TID number 17 for the proposed industrial development located east of 18th Avenue and south and east of Corporate Center Drive. I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
I think I heard Schmidt first, Zingsheim, and a second by Sternig. Any comments, questions, discussion? If not, I will call the roll. Alderman Zingsheim.
Aye.
Alderman Schmidt.
Aye.
Alderman Sparts.
Aye.
Alderman Sternig.
Yes.
Aye.
Alderman Berquist.
Aye.
Alderman Engelking.
Aye.
Alderman Butchlick.
Aye.
All right, that motion carries. We will adjourn into closed session. We will not reconvene. We will adjourn our meeting from closed session. I believe a separate Teams link has been sent out for this closed session. So, John and Red, if you wouldn't mind, give us a few minutes to get upstairs and then sign into that, and we'll get signed in as soon as we can. Thank you.